Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of the Your Progress is Our Passion podcast. I'm here with Josh Carter. Josh used to be one of my coaches when I was doing CrossFit about a year ago, and now I would say, is it safe to say that you specialise in performance for golfers? Is that correct?
Yeah.
That I imagine is a very sort of brief version of it. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about what you do now and how you got there?
Yeah, sure. What I do now is through my experiences of functional movement and fitness and playing golf, mixing them both together, finding out that golf fitness isn't, because they're rotational athletes, it's not just about, well, how well can you twist and turn. With golfers, it's very under-coached, under-spoken about. It's almost like the white elephant in the room. Everybody knows that you need to do heavy lifting and use the floor really well.
Yeah.
But people don't really like to talk about it. It's seen as too risky.
Right, okay.
To do heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, heavy cleans, moves that we all should do as humans just to function well.
Mm-hmm.
But in forces that use the floor to produce force, they should do as well. So my history as I used to be a golf pro, ended up at Royal Liverpool where the Open was in 2014. Essentially, when I was a kid, turned pro to play. And if anybody who plays golf and gets to a reasonable standard and says they're turning pro to either teach or open a shop,
yeah,
they're lying to you. They're not doing it for that at all. They're doing it because they want to play or they want to maybe coach as a backup.
Okay.
But playing is what we all want to do. So I did that with the goal to play, and I'd use the PGA as my route to get there. Kind of long story short, I wasn't selfish enough with my time. I put and compromised my time for other people's needs, whether it be professionally or personally. And that was all my choice. You only know what you know at the time.
Yeah.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but yeah, you only know what you know at the time. You think you're doing the right thing. And it kind of come out of me being the head assistant at Royal Liverpool, almost hating the game, really lost a love for it. Didn't play much because you're working like 60 hours a week in a shop, so you've not got much of a life outside of that.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to play on top of that. When you play bad, so then you don't practice because you've not got time, and then it's just that vicious circle. It's fairly common in the PJ's kind of assistant's lifespan.
Okay.
From there, looked to got out. Met a PT who was looking to open his own gym. With my coach experience, got into CrossFit at the time. Then really wished I found CrossFit and functional fitness and movements about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But probably like most people, really. And now my job is to get rid of the but for golfers and bring complete clarity to what they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's more like what I do. And how I do it is through functional movements and functional bodybuilding movements as well.
Okay.
But it's more kind of what you believe or what your pillars are as a mindset. It's getting rid of that but.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, well, I'm doing this, but I did that, but. So, well, no, let's get rid of that but and bring a bit more clarity to what it is you've done and where it is you want to go and how you're going to get there.
Okay.
That was probably the biggest thing that held me back, is that I wanted to play, didn't really know how to. Not play golf, but a path of, well, I'm here, and I want to get to here,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not really sure what this middle bit should be,
right, okay.
or kind of what I should be doing. So yeah, that's kind of what I do now, really.
And as a result of now moving into the area you are, has your passion for playing come back?
Massively.
That's good.
Massively. Luckily I left soon enough to not hate it and want to leave it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't play for probably a good 2.5 years. Just put the clubs away, let them collect dust, wasn't interested.
No.
Didn't watch it, didn't go to the range, didn't play, didn't really talk about it, wasn't bothered at all. Went to try and join the police.
Right.
Got in, but then budget cuts said they didn't want me anymore because they couldn't afford it. And then just, as I say, worked in the CrossFit gyms and now doing what I'm doing.
Okay. So our first major question is about training. The 4 pillars we've got is training, nutrition, mindset and community. What I like to do is get sort of your most current thoughts, or even maybe not even current, but something that's been with you for a long period of time that you think is a nice solid foundation? When you look at training a new athlete, what is some of the first things you're looking at, or what is where you're trying to get them to?
New athletes, it's where they are and where they want to go. So how can they move? Can they move okay? Again, what I briefly said before, that just because they're rotational athletes, a lot of people think they should just be doing rotational movements.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't do something as simple as squat, even remotely well, that's the foundation movement for us all. That even all the rotational work that they'll do is irrelevant, because if they've not got the base, it doesn't matter,
mm-hmm.
because they're not going to get the payoff from any rotational work that they do. It's only a very small, in my opinion, a small part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
The bigger part of the puzzle is how well can you use the floor.
Yeah.
If you can use that better, then we can start to add the little finishing touches and the sprinklings of rotational work.
Mm.
But the bulk of my beliefs is it's all about generating a better relationship with the floor.
Yeah.
So finding out how well they can move, and then I'm just really finding out what they want to do from the game. There's a couple of lads I'm working with that one's a young lad, he's 20 years old, and he wants to do essentially follow the path that I followed.
Mm-hmm.
Turn pro through the PGA and have the dream of playing. He seems like he's got his head screwed on more, is that he's going to put it first,
yeah,
which is a good start. He wants to do the work, he's interested in doing it, and he wants to put that first, so that's great. And I'm also working with a guy who's in his mid-40s, picked the game up quite late, was a good rugby player, has got a good sporting background, but just wants to enjoy it more.
Okay.
Wants to get a little bit fitter, not be as tired at the end of it, and wants to improve it so he'll enjoy it more. So two kind of different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Whether that answers the question.
Are there any, would you say, like, how much time would you encourage people to dedicate to this sort of non-sport specific? Well, it's still sport specific, but it's not. They're not doing their actual sport. They're doing
they're training for the sport.
Yeah, they're training for the sport. So they're training outside of the sport itself. Is there a set amount of time you like to encourage people to do that each week, or?
Ideally, I would like, if you're doing it for health reasons or really performance reasons, I'm a big believer in habits and good habits that essentially sets you up for wherever you are at the moment. You've come from doing decisions and doing what you've done in the past 12 months, 18 months, 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's got you here, so whatever you're doing now is going to get you to where you will be next week, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. So if we can do something most days towards it, I'm more of a fan of little and often.
Okay.
So if you can get 4 or 5 days a week, if you're doing it more as a performance to playing pro, then yeah, you need to be, I would say, at least 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
If you're doing it more for recreational, just health reasons, 3 days a week really.
Okay. And is this something that you believe that just your average recreational golfer would benefit from, and not someone who's kind of turning pro or plans to go down that route as well?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. The payoff, personally for me, the payoff for doing like a blend of your classic bodybuilding isolation movements and you mix them with the big compound functional stuff,
mm-hmm.
the payoff's enormous.
Yeah.
That you don't just get better at your sport, you make getting up and down the couch easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting off the toilet easier. And if you've got kids, playing with the kids easier. If you've got grandkids, you'll see them for longer.
Mm-hmm.
They're the intangible things that people don't talk about, that you subconsciously make better decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't eat rubbish food.
Yeah.
You'll pass on the extra beer or the 2 extra slices of pizza that you maybe want, but no, you think, well, I've been in the gym, so
yeah,
I don't want to. It's all like counterintuitive.
Yeah, I mean,
and you get better sleep. From better sleep, your mood's better, so you're just in a better place as a human.
Yeah, it's like people don't realise how easily they feed into it themselves, and in both a positive and a negative way. Countless times I've seen a person that it's like they'll pick up an injury and then they'll go, "Oh, well, I don't need to bother doing my diet at the same time." It's like so that the training and the sort of dedication to the training, the consistency of the training does breed into other areas in their life. That's what I've always found.
Yeah, that's enormous.
So from a nutritional point of view, do you coach your clients on nutrition, or is it just the movement aspect of it?
I help where I can. I don't ever claim to be an expert. Okay. I don't ever claim to be an expert in anything. Mm-hmm. I think we all should be students of everything that we do. I think that the day that you think, yeah, I've really cracked this is the day you stop learning is you snookered. You're absolutely snookered. It's not necessarily that there's someone that's always better than you or knows more than you. I just think there's always just a little bit that you can learn.
Yeah.
Whether it's a movement or how you can apply something or in anything. Mm-hmm. So nutrition, I say I don't really claim to ever be an expert, but just keep it really simple. I like the way Ben Bergeron described it, and it's very much of the CrossFit kind of theory on food and nutrition, and it's like eat whole foods.
Yeah.
So if it's got a sell-by date, probably within about a week, that's okay. If it will perish.
Yeah.
If it's swam, or if it's had a face, or if it's grown out of the ground on a tree, on a plant, it's probably going to be a whole food. So you're pretty good with that. Don't eat too much.
Yeah.
Like control your portion size and eat enough to maintain sort of a healthy muscle mass, but not to gain too much body fat.
Yeah.
And keep it mostly vegetables. I think outside of that, lots of dietitians and lots of personal trainers will have their own opinions and their own agendas of maybe they're trying to push something or peddle the latest craze. Keep it really simple.
Yeah.
Like training. Squats, deadlifts, presses, Olympic lifts. I've not invented them. CrossFit has not invented them. No, I mean, we do squats when they're a baby. We just know how to do it.
Yeah.
Then we stop.
Mm-hmm. And
through the years of human evolution, we've just kind of stopped doing proper movements. And it's like we haven't invented them, but I just believe in it. Just keep it really, really simple.
Yeah.
Do the simple, almost boring stuff. You do that really well, everything else comes much easier. And it's just the same as diet. Do it really, really simple.
Yeah. I mean, people have had amazing physiques and been fantastic at sport as far back as, time itself. It's like as far back as there's been sport.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been getting better, but now like more modern. And people think that there's some sort of magic key to that. And I think it's just a case of more awareness on what is possible, more kind of like you've seen what people can do before, therefore it encourages you to do that little bit more. Technology in terms of like sporting equipment has certainly moved forward. But in terms of nutrition, the basics are still very much.
In terms of nutrition and training, simple the better.
Yeah.
Lift heavy, get your heart rate up, squat, deadlift and press. Keep your nutrition simple. Like eat whole foods, don't eat too much, and eat lots of veg.
Yeah.
We'll all be pretty lean, healthy and happy.
Yeah. It's just doing it consistently.
That's it.
So, mindset, I imagine this plays a huge role in golf. The whole, in any sport, it's like your previous performance will certainly be playing on your mind and your next. And you said obviously you have certain things you have to overcome with a lot of your clients when you first meet them and things. What is the biggest kind of thing that you would like to talk to people about there?
Again, it's something that's I've not invented. It's only ever about you. Don't worry about either what you've done in the past or what could potentially come in the future. And don't worry about any other people that are doing whatever they're doing. And with social media now and Instagram, that people all they post is the highlight reel of their entire life. Whether that's a great night out with friends, or whether they just shot a course record 65, or they've had a brilliant lesson with this fantastic coach and everything's going hunky-dory. Whereas just focus on the variables you can control and do the thing that you can do that is going to get you to the best of your potential. And that's it. Worry about that. And I mean, golf being an individual sport, it's really hard to do that because there's only ever you there.
Yeah. And
really the buck only ever stops with you. In team sports, football or rugby or anything like that, you can play great and you can still lose. Which, to a degree, it's tough because you've given everything, but you can put your hand on your heart and say, well, I gave everything.
Yeah.
We still lost, but that almost, I did everything I could do.
Yeah.
But I say when it's a golfer or an individual sport, it's a little bit different. So building that almost like, not bulletproof, but the ability just to think, right, I'll do what the best thing I can do to get me towards my best potential.
Yeah.
Just worry about the variables that I can control. Your habits that you do every day. Are you eating the right stuff? Are you training in the gym? And when you're practicing, are you practicing the right things for you? Not just, I'm just going to go on the driving range and hit drivers all the time. They all might drive it really well, but they can't putt very well. So they don't spend much time on the putting. It's do the things you need to do. Not what everybody else is doing and not what everybody else says you should be doing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is very common in all walks of life, really.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's something I find that comes up a lot in an individual sport, and that, especially now with social media and stuff.
Yeah. It's as much of a blessing as it is a curse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are our own worst enemies.
So, interesting move on into talking about community now, because you've just spoken about golf and it being a solitary endeavour, and it's you and that ball. No, so what role does community play in what you do and what as a golfer, and also what you do as a coach?
Now pros are building teams of people around them. Normally include like a psychologist. No, I don't like to say personal trainer, but a fitness coach, personal trainer, strength coach, whatever you want to call them, a swing coach, and outside of the swing, they've got different coaches for different parts of the game.
Okay.
So they can one person can now have a team or community of probably about 6 people, something like that. So it's almost now starting to become a little bit more of a team sport on an individual basis.
Right.
Which I think there's a few good things for that. It creates a bit more accountability. If your fitness coach is telling you need to go and do this, you're not equal. You've got to do the work.
Yeah.
It's not on me to do the work. I can help you and show you what to do. At the end of the day, you've just got to get off your arse and go and do it. But also, like I say, it creates that accountability that you're not just doing it for you. There's 4 or 5 other people within this team that are giving up their time, their expertise, their knowledge, their passion for it to help the individual become better.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I need to go to the gym because my swing coach has told me this. It's going to benefit this part of my game, that part of my game, and also I'm going to get fitter and stronger for it as well. So there's 4 or 5 people involved. And like us all, we'll want to be kind of part of something bigger than just us.
Yeah. So that's with pros, but with regard to, say, like you've got one of your clients again who's, say, an amateur or just a casual golfer, what about the impact of the community on them? So
in terms of working with,
in terms of so there's a level of success they're going to get. I mean, there's the whole the cliche of you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with and whatnot. I find with myself that it's nice to be part of a weightlifting team. So we have people that I lift with, and it keeps you accountable there. But the vast majority of people are just your sort of standard individual that are just doing this as for recreational purposes. Would you say is it going to be more of a you go down, you put the hours in on the course yourself, or do you think that having other people to go and play with is
Oh, it's massive. Like if you can find the right people to practice and play with all the time, in my opinion, I would have, if you could have the perfect 4 ball to practice with and play with every day, I would take that over the best coach in the world any day. And I'm a coach.
Yeah.
And like it may sound almost counterintuitive to say that.
I mean, it's
like, I mean, well, Froman said it for CrossFit, take a better training partner than the best coach in the world any day.
Yeah.
And I would do the same for a golfer.
So what does the perfect 4-ball look like?
3 people that are better than you.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 people that are better than you. Not so much that you never even, like, you wouldn't even dream of getting to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just 3 people that you feel do things better than you, whether that's hit the ball better, have an ability to score better, handle themselves better on the course. I mean, if you can pick 3 people that do 3 different things better than you, and consistently learn off them, then you've cracked it. You've absolutely cracked it. And that way you'll always develop, you'll always get better.
Yeah. See, I thought, up until a few weeks back, and I'm reconsidering my thinking on this at the moment, I thought the exact same thing of having, I would actually say that the 3 people I lift with are all better than me. Some are better in technique, some are better with the strength that they've got, and some are better with the power, that the generation that they've got. So it's like I'm learning different things from each of the 3 of them. And then I was chatting to someone about this, and they said, well, actually, you've got the whole, if there's someone in the group that actually you are personally better than, it can have that sort of psychological boost on making you feel better about yourself. So this is something I'm currently revisiting my thoughts, and I've not quite figured out where I sit with that right now, but that's why I just wanted to get your idea of it was always people that are better than you, not kind of someone who's a little bit behind, and then you get to have not necessarily ego, but I mean we all like to kind of
like to feel
no one likes to be at the bottom of the chain unless, but then as I said, I think what you said earlier about always being a learner actually does like being at the bottom of the chain because they've always got people above them to learn from. So
I mean, I played with guys that played over in America at college, and coached a lad that was playing over in college in Division 1 school, and really they've always, the ones that have played, and they've also almost just like walked onto the team. They were at college, they got like a scholarship, and they were number 1, number 2 on the team. And they said, oh, it was brilliant, it was great, it's like, you're the best. We said, but you never get any better. So he moved schools, and he was then number 4 or 5 on the team. And there's only 5 that play, and there could be like a squad of 8, 9, 10 golfers. And they have to qualify each week to get in. So they'll play around on like a Sunday. So you play on a Sunday for the tournament coming up on Monday and Tuesday. So if you don't play well on the Sunday, and you were number 1 ranked last week, it doesn't matter, you won't be in the team. It says being like number 4 or 5 was brilliant, because it always made you work that a little bit harder, to try and get that a little bit better. And like just by association, those guys were better than him, so he got that little bit better just because he had to, just to tread water. He had to improve. Kind of similar with yourself, with your lifting. I've experienced the same training with a different group of lads over the past sort of 5 or 6 months. That me as an athlete has got tons better than I was 6, 8 months ago, just because I'm training with different people. They are better, so I've got to be better to keep up. Always surround yourself with who you feel, things that you want to get better at. Pick people that you think, well, I like what you do there, so learn from them. Not people who don't take advice from someone who's not where you actually want to be, or what you want to do. If they're the same as you, then well, there's not a great deal of point in taking their advice. But if there's people that are where you want to be, if it's like going back to golf, handling yourself on the golf course, or swinging the club in a way, have a position through the swing that they're able to do it, or a rhythm, or ability to turn a 5 into a 4, or handle themselves in such a way that nothing bothers them. Just very, very, very level. That they just hit the shot, whatever happens, happens. They walk after it, pick a club, and you just do it again. And they do that about 68 times. Rather than blowing up after you hit one bad shot, and then takes you an hour to calm down again, and by the time you've calmed down, you've played 3 holes and you've dropped another 3 shots, and it's like just shooting yourself in the foot. So
awesome. Okay, so Two questions now about advice that you may hear other people getting, or you may have heard other people receiving. The first one I'd like to ask is, what is the worst piece of advice you think too many people are either receiving or or hearing?
Change your life in 90 days. It's utter nonsense. So nothing good ever happened in 90 days. So no, that's wrong. Nothing sustainable of longevity happened in 90 days. I'm not a fan of the 6-week, 3-week challenge. Do this for 7 days and you'll have abs of steel. And I guarantee in a week that I'll take you from average Joe to the ripped beach body that you've always dreamed of. It's like, it doesn't happen. Yeah. Rome wasn't built in a day, so why should we expect that our dream lives or dream bodies or dream careers or whatever you want to achieve is going to happen in 3 months? 3 months in the grand scheme of things is not a long time.
You said something interesting earlier about when you said about like the habits that you've done from now have got you to where you are today. So those habits are something that we've often been doing for 20, 30 years.
Subconsciously, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so it is kind of, yes, massive change can happen in short spaces of time, but I agree with you, like sustainable change, it's about bedding those habits in over longer periods of time. Sometimes if someone's taking 10 years to get to a particular weight, like being overweight, it might take them 10 years to ever truly get to the weight that they really truly want to be and sustain it. I don't personally think I've still ever achieved the sustainable weight that I want, and I've been losing weight, gaining weight, like losing it and learning more about it for 11 years now. So it's interesting when you say about like the habits, what you've formed so far.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It takes people. I'm a huge believer in small, seemingly insignificant things that you'll do on a daily basis that you will think it doesn't really matter if I don't brush my teeth today.
Yeah.
You do that for a week, well, you'll be in with the dentist pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing. If I don't eat enough veg today, it doesn't really matter. Well, 2 days becomes 4 days. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, the old saying, tomorrow never comes. And it is the small, seemingly insignificant things that you do over 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You're a different person.
Yeah.
But you don't notice it, you don't realise it. With social media and things now, everyone's like, they want to live in a film.
Yeah.
That they see, like the comic book films, that like Thor comes in, swoops his hammer, save the day, this big one act. Or, as you mentioned before, like the magic pill.
Yeah.
What's the shortcut? What's the, I'll give you a 7-day body hack.
Yeah.
No, there's no hacks. You don't hack the body. It's just have good habits over a prolonged period of times, and you consistently do that.
Yeah.
You will get whatever result you want. I promise that. Any result, anything. You'll get it if you want to lose a stone. Right, we'll just do like a pound a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want a pound a week. I want 6 pounds in the first week. But you can't sustain that.
No.
You can't keep that going. It's ridiculous. If I only lost 6 pounds every week, I want to be dead. There's no one here.
Yeah, well, we're conditioned now to want to press a button on a phone and see the results straight away. It's
the same with golfers and golf and sport. More than anything, it takes such a long time to really master it. Like I've listened to a book, Bounce. I don't know if you've heard of it or read it. To me, it's brilliant. 10,000 hours to master something. 10,000 hours. People think, I'll do that in a year. But no, you'll get about 1,000 hours a year. It'll take you about 10 years. Overnight success, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, anybody, you listen to any of them, when they started in their first professional events, they had bad scores. They missed shots, they missed putts, they made bad decisions, or they were just inexperienced. He wasn't the world number one as soon as he turned pro. Michael Jordan wasn't the best basketball player on the face of the planet as soon as he turned pro. It's not the way it happens. It takes hours and hours and hours of practice, and that's only reserved for the people who want to do it.
Yeah.
And nowadays, people don't want to do it. They look at it and think, "What's that? You watch on TV." So if I'm watching a golf event on TV, they only show the leaders. That's it.
Yeah.
Show the big names, you Rory McIlroys, the ones who've got the big multi-million-dollar deals. Even if he's not doing very well, they still show him. And they'll show the maybe dozen players that are towards the top. Everybody else doesn't get a look in. And they're only on the second page. But they don't get a look.
Yeah, it's not showing the full picture.
No.
You're not seeing the person who's coming up.
No. And then equally, no one is seeing and no one's interested on a Monday morning in February when it's freezing cold. They're doing something to better themselves. Whether that's going for a run and they don't want to go for a run, but they know it's the right thing to do, they go and do it. It's the 5-6 hours spent on the driving range, on the practice ground, on the putting green, in 100-degree heat and 80% humidity.
Yeah.
That, oh, it's sunny, it's great. Well, you try and stand outside in 100-degree heat and 80% humidity. Just stand outside, you'll sweat your nuts off. Never mind practicing and trying to groove something so it's so automatic, it's like breathing. It takes a long time, and people aren't prepared to do the work anymore. So yeah.
Okay, well, so that leads on possibly nicely to what is the best piece of advice that you think people aren't hearing enough of, or maybe aren't taking enough of?
Do the work.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I thought that might be where you went after that question.
Yeah, that the old proverb of saying is, "You do the thing, you shall have the power." And I've heard that for a lot of years, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's really good, isn't it?" I never really thought anything of it. And only last probably 6 months, maybe 3 months, that I read it or saw it somewhere, and it really resonated. Just do the work. And whatever fear people have got, whether it's they're scared of going to the gym because they're overweight, or they're scared of the success that if they actually put the work in, well, something good might come of it. Equally, if they put the work in and realise that I've given all and I just wasn't quite good enough, that I sacrificed everything and I might not be good enough, whatever fear is there, if you do the work, you'll be okay. The one catch, you've got to do the work.
Yeah.
Got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it.
I think one of those fears is the whole, what if I put all the work in and I don't get there, is a big fear. And it's like, people worry about the amount of time that they're going to take to do something, but by worrying, they're actually using that time anyway. That time passes. Time doesn't stop while we think about doing our goals. And it's just the same as it doesn't suddenly disappear when we actually start working on them. It's like, if that time's going to pass anyway, then you kind of owe it to yourself to follow your dreams rather than just dreaming them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be somewhere in 10 years. Yeah. It's like, well, have a go. Have a crack. Put all your eggs in that one basket. If you don't make it, well, you don't make it. But you're still going to be somewhere in 10 years. So be somewhere and think, well, yeah, I had a go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I didn't have a go. I should have done, but I didn't. That's my problem to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, do the work. And you'll get probably a lot further than you ever dreamt you could. And our imaginations are quite limited in terms of when you're setting goals. Because if you knew how to do it, we would already be there. We'd have already got it. So you can only ever really see so far. So whether it's a weight or a amount of money you want to earn, or a golfer in terms of, I want to play on tour. So all they can see is just about playing and scraping onto the European Tour or PJ Tour or whatever it is that they want to play. So well, if you actually apply yourself and do all the work that you know you need to do, chances are you'll get past that anyway.
Yeah.
So we are quite limited in what we can see.
Yeah. And if we aim here, the highest we'll ever get here. We aim here, we may only get to there, but that's still above here. Okay, so we talked about my personal 4 pillars. Is there any other elements that you would like to add, or anything else that you think is important to driving progress, whether that's in sport or in life or wherever, really?
Gratitude.
Okay.
be grateful for what you've got. Come from a place of taking pleasure in the simple things. Just having a nice warm bed to sleep in at night. You get a hot meal. Might sound a bit trivial, but be grateful for what you have got. See the things in your life that are good, because every time you switch the news on, either someone's died or there's been some terrible attack somewhere of something happening that's just really bad and negative and not particularly nice to watch. So be grateful for what you've got. Really like discipline. Commit to something and see it through. If you say you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Commit to it. That's what it falls under mindset, really. Like just discipline, gratitude.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for this interview. It's actually been really, really awesome. I love it's gone off in a lot more questions than we originally had planned, which I really love. For everyone who's watching, tell them where we can find you on social media and stuff.
I'm on Facebook as GCC Fitness, Instagram Josh Carter 28, and my website is gccfitness.co.uk.
If you're watching this on video, those links should be at the bottom if I've done my job properly. If you're listening to this on the podcast, these links will not be on the bottom. I don't know if they're going to be in the show description. I'll try and put them in. And yeah, thanks again for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure to share this time with Josh. I've learned an awful lot there, and I hope you guys have too. And I will see you guys soon. Cheers, guys.